Hey pal, it's me again. I hope you're doing well. It's about that time of year where I start to see everyone posting about entering their winter arc, especially during the new year. And on one hand, I think that it's very healthy, it's very natural, and it can be very rewarding. And on the other hand, there is a dark side to the winter arc. And I kind of want to just talk about it, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. If you don't know, the winter arc is a trend or a movement that has been popularized in the last few years. It's basically locking in for 90 days, for 3 months throughout the winter, to really be disciplined and really aggressive with your fitness goals, your spiritual goals, your emotional goals. It's really to lock in for 3 months, and by the time that winter is over, you have transformed into a new person, so to speak. And like I said, on one hand, I think that's really healthy. I think it can be a great opportunity for someone to finally step up to the plate and do the things that they've been wanting to do. But on the other hand, I think that it can be pretty destructive if you give yourself this timetable to really work on your goals. And by the end of this so called winter of these 90 days, that you should be transformed. And when you don't see those results, that can be problematic. The winter can kind of be this dead zone of the year where, the weather is colder, so people aren't going out as much. It's right after the holidays, too, or right around the holidays, so people aren't trying to spend as much money, or, the new year has come in, so they're trying to stick to those New Year's goals and resolutions. So that means going to the gym, that means not ordering DoorDash every day, sticking to a routine that works for you. All of this is really good stuff. But where I think it can get a little tricky is this idea of transformation, that after this 90 days, you will have transformed into a new person. And usually the winter arc involves fitness goals specifically, but that's not always the case. It's actually kind of interesting to see the difference in aesthetics between men and women doing this trend. For women, it's often Pilates classes and acai bowls and staying hydrated and skin routines and journaling. And with men, it's like only fitness, physique is the only thing that matters. It's darkness and isolation and loneliness and super black pilled propaganda, which definitely can be harmful. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit more jaded when it comes to this whole winter arc terminology, is because as a man, I just naturally tend to see more of the men side with this trend. So I'm just pre exposed naturally to more of this black pilled winter arc for men content. On that side of the trend, it's almost exclusively about physical transformations. And the idea of transformation can only come from you literally locking in, like no going out, no socializing, no friends. Like these next 90 days, if you aren't spending every single second on bettering yourself, bettering your physique, then you're not doing the Winter Arc Challenge correctly. So if after the 90 days you don't achieve the physique that you had intended, well, that's kind of on you, because that hour that you slept in that one day, you could have woken up on time and done some push-ups and some stomach crunches, and maybe that would have gotten you a little bit closer. Or, that one time you ordered DoorDash when you shouldn't have. Yeah, that's kind of why you didn't achieve your goals. I just think the winter arc in general, the idea behind it, whether you're a man, woman, whatever, I just think it kind of promotes isolation. It's this idea that you need to lock in for the winter, literally hibernate for the duration that it is cold outside. And you need to work on your fitness, your mental stability, your emotional capability, that small business that you planned on running, that promotion that you aimed to get. It's elevating yourself and succeeding in like every stage of your life in 90 days. And I just don't think that's a good way to work on your goals. In my last video, I mentioned that I don't really like the term New Year's resolutions. I just prefer goals that I subtly try to establish into my routine, making things become a habit before the start of the new year so that by the time the new year rolls around, I'm not struggling to start this new goal and I'm not devastated on the first day that I stop doing it. I'm also really curious to see just how many normal people actually stick with their winter arc challenge. I feel like having this arbitrary date and this time window of you achieving all of your goals, I feel like that kind of has to promote some level of burnout for some people. Because you have to understand that everyone online who is participating in this winter arc is already doing everything that they say they're going to do in their winter arc. They're already doing it all year long. This is what they do. This is the fitness influencers' time to shine because they're already in peak physical condition. They already eat acai bowls every morning and make smoothie bowls. They've been doing Pilates for years now, and they've been lifting at the same gym for like a decade. They're content creators, so they don't have a job like you, which means they can dedicate so much of their time to their physical fitness, their emotional goals, because for 8 hours of the day, they're not obligated to go work for someone else. They get money from doing their winter arc and posting about it every day. So I think that's kind of important to talk about because everyone that I've seen doing this winter arc challenge, they're already influencers. Also, just the term winter arc kind of implies that this is your time to hibernate and to become the best version of yourself because you're the main character. Like, this is not only transforming your body, but because you've achieved this arbitrary success within 90 days, that means you are a new reinvented person, thus making you the main character for this new season of life, I guess. There's some not so subtle main character language within that term, winter arc. But what happens when winter is over? What happens when the sun comes out and the weather warms up? Do you stop doing your goals? No, because what was the point? So it's not so much an arc as it is just a new beginning. I honestly just think if we changed the name of the winter arc into something else that's more consistent and that lasts a little longer than like 90 days, I think that could solve a lot of thinking and a lot of language of how we speak about the winter arc. I mean, if we're talking about main character language here, let's change it to something like season 2. You take a break off the air and you come back as a reinvented character that people actually like. How about that? How about we get that going? Hashtag season 2. But all jokes aside, I'd love to know what you think of the winter arc challenge / trend. I don't even really know what to categorize it at, but I'd love to know, are you participating? Have you participated in the past? Do you think it's healthy? Do you think it's dangerous? I'd love to know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with a friend. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.